Welcome back to our channel. If your birthday on this day, kindly comment your name, year of birth and country of birth. If you like our work, give like and subscribe our channel. Check description to see about our offers and new announcement. Here we see truth about birthday on this day. On the off chance that you were brought into the world on the principal day of the month, you have a unique character and regularly wind up to be the focal point of consideration. You may pick a vocation in expressions of the human experience which will empower you to seek after your inventive advantages, or work with kids, creatures or pets to draw out the more delicate side of yourself. Since you like to do things as you would prefer, you would be more qualified to working freely or in an administrative role. You are an aggressive individual. You acquire progress in any work that you attempt. You don't care for anyone requesting or ordering you. You will lead your existence with your own particular manner and on your own terms. You normally want to be the top of a project and be the awesome you're calling, with the goal that individuals regard you as such. You care very much about your picture and economic well-being. You are partial to extravagances and like to have a lavish existence. You are here and there basic about others. However, yet you urge your partners to advance. You should attempt to look for the assistance of others in work obscure to you and do whatever it takes not to be a superstar by battling or playing out the work alone. You ought to try not to be bombastic in your life. Well-being savvy. You might be inclined to heart sicknesses. You ought to get your vision checked routinely. You may have issues identified with circulatory framework and hypertension in the later piece of your life. Having oranges, cloves, ginger and grain will be useful to you. You ought to likewise have however much nectar as could be expected. You should care for your well-being during the long periods of October, December and January. You ought not overwork yourself during this period. You are sharp-leaning and have an immense potential. You have an immense companion circle and numerous family members, yet you may in some cases feel desolate and alone in this wide world. You generally anticipate consideration from others. You have a positive nature and are certain. Generally, you are an exceptionally idealistic individual and never acknowledge disappointment without any problem. You ought to consistently begin your significant work and tasks on the 1st, 10th, 19th and 28th of consistently. You have a solid self-discipline and you for the most part don't spare a moment in completing your arrangements. Despite the fact that others contrast from you, you should deal with your unnecessary costs and attempt to decrease them. You should attempt to set aside cash for the future, as you may need to endure misfortunes due to your trust in others. You have a colossal companion circle and numerous family members, yet you may here and there feel forlorn and alone in this huge world. You should attempt to avoid legitimate legal disputes, as you may enter monetary misfortune because of it. You are a pioneer, a speculator, and an initiator. You have an incredible aspiration and a solid drive for progress. You are profoundly autonomous and despise the limitations of working with others. You effectively become baffled with the everyday practice. You are exceptionally inventive. You have a sharp and fast brain. You have superb business senses and with the proper preparing can run enormous associations and huge organizations. You use data for a particular reason. Information is a down-to-earth instrument in your grasp. You despise data or information for the good of its own. You have an expansive vision and an extraordinary limit with regards to propelling others. You have extraordinary self-control that will be tried, particularly during the years 28 to 56. Yet, your chance for achievement is huge. You are for the most part open to the thoughts of others, however you can be amazingly difficult and unshakable once you become joined to your arrangements. Keep away from apathy and delaying. You are given to outrage and disappointment, and tend to constrain the issue now and again when things are not creating as quickly as you might want. Your assurance, resolve, and creativity are the keys to your prosperity and will probably bring you much close to home prize in monetary achievement. Being a trailblazer by your inclination, you are continually searching for groundbreaking thoughts and strategies for their execution. You are prepared to help anybody in a troublesome second, due to which you regularly restrict yourself. Expertise to spur, move and assume liability. Your constancy, assurance and fearlessness permit you to replace an innovator in the public arena aimed at achieving high goals. A person, individualism and egoism drive you and give a certain impulse to actions. Having set a goal, people whose number of souls alone do not dare change course and rush forward do not carry the restrictions on the spirit, so you deal with all the problems from the very beginning. You are a fearless leader, persistent and determined. The capacity to introduce oneself and organize so that the option to provide orders to nobody is in question. Certainty, productivity, self-governance, the capacity to see and make something new. Tossing a tire underlines the independence of style. People who are disparaged by a unit are typically hard to adapt to monogamy. During their life they had an adequate number of associations, and they didn't remain with a particular individual for quite a while. They have intrinsic sexuality and allure. They find in sex just the free articulation of their sexuality, and don't infer equivalent treatment in marriage. Nonetheless, such individuals get acknowledgement and authority in the family, and furthermore become incredible guardians. The individual is supplied with every one of the highlights of a pioneer. Whenever, totally in any circumstance, attempt to carry them, make a difference as far as possible, without withdrawing until all potential answers for a specific issue have been depleted. You are consistently prepared to step up and assume responsibility for the circumstance. Have fantastic abilities of a finance manager, could accomplish gigantic outcomes in profoundly huge territories or enormous business. Sun, the wellspring of all numbers, is the start of all life. The synthesis of any number incorporates the number 1. Yet the actual number is resolute. It depends on the solidarity of the universe. Individuals of the Sun are pioneers essentially, amazingly solid characters who never go unseen in the shadows. These are energetic, rash, professional individuals. In the event that you are affected by this number, don't secure yourself your own emotions, don't restrict yourself just to your own discernment, else you will clash with the rest of the world. You generally make extraordinary progress. Liberality, pride, want to make something new, physical and profound strength, authority, want for power, activity, and awareness of certain expectations, unqualified equity, reasonableness are natural in you. You have an agreeable relationship with individuals from the principal, second, fourth, seventh gatherings. The primary types have fiercely independent spirits. They want to be in fee of their fate. One putting feature of personalities of number 1 is their strong leadership characteristics. They are frequently taken into consideration certified leaders in lots of situations. This allows them to take hard selections others would hesitate to take. Their intelligence is higher than average. As a sturdy leader, they have got an air of confidence that robotically attracts out the follower in other human beings. They are well known among human beings for their particular thoughts and perspectives. When they are devoted to a goal, they put their coronary heart and soul into reaching it. As a parent, this persona kind has one drawback. Due to their assured demeanor and sturdy leading behavior, they will come off as dominating or downright arrogant. It is important that humans around you consider your strategies and behavior. This strong competitive spirit in you could convey out elements which might be despised in public. Number 1 as a birthday number is typically associated with Sun. It is the basis of the entirety, the chief of the numbers. That's why you may frequently see this variety as the pinnacle of numbers family. People who've birthday on this day are very original, with vibrant imagination and joyful disposition. They are practical and persuasive. They like freedom and hate any form of limitations. People like this recognize exactly what they do, and do not need any advices. People with number 1 are typically independent workers. They control the paintings without or with minimum supervision. Number 1 people are very self-confident and demanding. They acquire truly strong strength of will and perception in ideas that occasionally they'll be viewed as obstinate. A toddler with this quality can be hyperactive and might not discover a rest till his or her desire is realized. So if such an infant isn't taught the way to get perfect component independently, he or she will be able to act up for a truly long term. People below this variety can achieve superb effects in profession and may be without a doubt satisfied in romantic relationships, specifically if they're tightly connected with their family. Emotional functions. As for the emotional facet of number 1, it's miles critical to remember the fact that they're inborn leaders, and it really works for the entirety. They will use every chance to end up a frontrunner. It has some results for such humans of their romantic relationships. They will probably lead in relationships. If the suitable partner is tough to read, number 1 will make everything to alternate such state of affairs, or finally unfasten any interest. Usually they fall for exciting and exceptional human beings. They are not afraid to be rejected, because it won't affect their shallowness. Number 1 usually stays number 1. In maximum case, humans aren't able to withstand the air of mystery and attraction of number 1. People who fell in love with this variety character have to continually take into account that this range is related to perfection. They're annoying to themselves, as well as to other humans, and such expectations are without a doubt difficult to meet. Also, their partners have to be in perfect bodily in shape. If you are more than a few one individual, you are possibly clever, witty, physically robust person with awesome energy of will. You like thrilling ideas and may encourage others. It is the reason why your attraction works nearly on everybody and everywhere. You are very ambitious and stressful, but you need to understand that humans around aren't that energetic and skillful. You are a pace setter, so lead human beings by your example. Never set great needs, as human beings have unique vision on the entirety.